my question for you today is, what are people most skeptical about when it comes to XR or XR adoption in your experience, especially talking to prospects and clients?
That's a very interesting question. Thank you. I think there are a few kind of key things that come to my mind when I think about what people are skeptical about. One of them that even yesterday when I was talking to someone, it kind of came out, was about people perceiving XR as something that they need to use instead of their normal training. So very often they just think that if they do something in XR, then that needs to be an overarching solution that can be used instead of everything they've done so far in terms of classroom training, in terms of e-learning, and basically it just needs to tick every single box for them. But XR for me is not about that. Training in an immersive environment is a lot more about doing the things that you can't do in classroom training or in e-learning, and doing those more practical aspects to it, and doing the things that are for example, like simulating dangerous environments or simulating things that just simply can't be recreated in the real world. So it's really all about having that extra edge, adding this extra dimension to your training that will help your employees put themselves in a completely different situation that feels very close to real. Another thing that I actually can't believe I still get asked is about people getting nauseous. So I think many people have tried maybe XR when they were, back in the day, maybe a few years ago, a different experience that's not training, and it's a roller coaster, or they've tried a very old headset. But I always tell them that currently the hardware has developed so much that you don't really feel this nauseous feeling because it's very well made. And if the software as well has been developed in a proper way by professionals, then you never really feel that.
Is there any other myth that you can think of, just on the top of your head?
Something else, which is not exactly a myth, but people I've spoken to have kind of raised that. And I was talking to someone who works in a fire department. So it was regarding their training. And he was telling me that from what he's heard about immersive training, it doesn't really sound like something that will work for them, because there is no way you can simulate the smoke, and the smoke is very important for their environment. And I was like, so how are you doing it right now? Are you simulating smoke? And he was like, oh, no, like we don't simulate smoke. And I was like, so why would you expect from something else to be simulating smoke, which is something that's incredibly difficult even for yourself? So currently, you have to play out something that people's minds are not tricked that it's a real situation. Whereas something you can do with immersive training is your brain is actually tricked that this emergency situation is happening right now. You can still feel your heart, pumping, and it's very close, as close as you can get to the reality without having to do going to the extra mile, adding the smoke or adding the heat, which is again something that could be done. It's just a separate part, to your solution. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that you need to think of, how you can improve. Sometimes you can't get to the best possible training, but you can definitely add that extra dimension of, you are immersed, you are in there. Yeah.